Alright, what's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, going to be taking a look at ADA, Cardano against USDT. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be looking at the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish on price action? Where do you think we're likely to head moving forward? Do you think we finally found support? Are you buying in these lows? Do you think there's some highs ahead of us here? We're going to plow through all those overhead resistance, get into the multi-dollar and a half range that we came from in the not so distant past. Or are you bearish on price action? Do you think there's more downside? Are you selling these swing highs? Do you think there's more lows ahead of us? Are we going to plow through $1.75, 50 cents, zero? Where do you think we're headed in the near future here? Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, jumping right into it. Now, to kind of recap price action in this ever so volatile and aggressive sideways, I do believe, ever since interaction with this 93-cent level, just below $1 there. $1 being a nice psychological kind of round level. I do believe it's going to be very significant moving forward, but 94 cents is going to be a key level I think we should consider. We interacted with it as resistance on the 10th of February of 2021, getting an aggressive rejection coming from very aggressively these kind of like 50, 60, 70 cents there, plowing all the way up to 93 cents, getting slapped back down to 68 cents, coming right back up. Very volatile price action, ups and downs, lots of buy and sell pressure in play, lots of FOMO present, if you will. Finally plowing through 94 cents to interact with some higher highs here. We find the top of this range at $1.47, perhaps $1.50 is a more psychological round level, but I do believe the key level to consider is $1.47 as resistance, setting price action kind of plummeting back down to wherever it came from, although we were setting these consecutive higher lows, making us kind of more bullish and giving us more momentum to break resistance around kind of $1.50 there, until finally, after another retest of 94 cents, just to make sure that it is still there, we found our way above the $1.50 level to the $2.50 almost. Some euphoric highs that we were feeling very nice in. Things are looking very bullish. Cardano was in very high demand and kind of still is, although an abrupt change in momentum sent price action plummeting through all this lovely support that we tried to establish, I do believe, from the sort of dreaded 19th of May all the way until realistically the 18th of June, so about a month of consolidation as we tried to find support along $1.47, although we broke downward and then confirmed it, I believe, as current local resistance on the 4th of July there, sending price action to interact with $1 yet again. Bouncing off $1 is going to be very significant support, a nice psychological round level, although I do suspect if we get near $1 again, we might have some scary lows near 94 cents. Now, what's going on for Cardano against USDT? But if we consider now EngineeringRobo, along with the Fettuccine, Fibba Lamborghini lines again of bikinis, we can see this new perspective come into play here. Price action against USDT currently interacting with resistance at the 0.5 Fibonacci level. $1.24 is currently that key level to keep in mind. Perhaps $1.25 is the psychological round level. Significant sell pressure at the moment could send price action to interact with potential further support of the 200 daily moving average, which we just bounced off of a few days ago. Very bullish bounce, although EngineeringRobo still has that sell for presence since the 19th of May there, so there is still some sell pressure at the moment, and there could be some more kind of short-term downside and some more attempts at support moving forward, although the fundamentals of Cardano are very bullish still. There's a very high demand for Cardano, and there has been for a while now. Price action has been above this 200 daily moving average, trading sideways toward it as we pulled it kind of up toward price action, and this very bullish bounce off of it does still show the still continued demand for Cardano above kind of these ranges here. But now, I want to consider a new perspective here. When we consider the fear and FOMO zone, fear and greed index, if you will, we have a new perspective in play at the moment. We can see that price action has been interacting with the upper of these two ranges here. The FOMO zone suggesting current, very high FOMO present, which does suggest very volatile price action, both up and down. Tops are bought, bottoms are bought, and the rally continues up in that FOMO zone. Price action is met with very, very high technical sell pressure. This is when perhaps mid to long-term investors are taking profits on their kind of investments on Cardano. They would typically be accumulating in these lows here. Say you're accumulating kind of below 7 cents to the 3 cents there. That would be great levels to be accumulating. Many months ago, back in April of kind of like 2020 there. And then say you wanted to take profit a year later up in the FOMO zone here at $1.20. You would have made a whopping kind of all paying, 2,237% over the course of just over a year. So there's definitely a bit of a kind of like mid to longer term perspective for the fear and FOMO zone. It definitely shows areas of high accumulation and high sell pressure. If the fundamental buy pressure of the coin currently interacting with the FOMO zone is high enough and there's enough demand for it, then we see this very volatile up and down price action conflicting with each other, causing this dreaded sideways appears. These ups and downs within this range of sideways. Very fundamental buy pressure interacting with very high technical sell pressure, causing, like I said, these very, very volatile ups and down swings. We exited the FOMO zone and then perhaps reconfirmed it as resistance on the kind of 15th of kind of June there, sending price action toward that 200 daily moving average. I do believe finally exiting the FOMO zone is going to be very bullish for us moving forward in the long term, as we spent a good, pretty much like a good 125 days in the FOMO zone there, so a good like 4 months. At least in the FOMO zone. So I do believe exiting it will now be very bullish for us in the upside here. And the perhaps long term, this will give us some room to breathe, give us some more perhaps lows to accumulate from, some more buy-ins, more buy-in opportunities. But this does suggest that we have now some room to kind of make some moves here. Now, significant resistance at the 0.5 line at $1.24 could send us plummeting to the 200 daily moving average, which could fail to hold us and could slip us all the way down to that $1 level, which if we spend some time down there, I do believe price action could reach toward my support line at 94 cents. In addition to that 95-cent level, which is currently the 0.382 fettuccine line. So very significant support just under $1. $1 being that psychological round kind of like level everybody's kind of buying off of at the moment. But just under that, we do have some very significant support. So lots going on for Cardano against USDT at the moment. Price action currently interacting with resistance, although we do have some significant levels of support ahead. So there's some room for some short-term downside to still be bullish in the midterm, in my opinion. So lots going on for Cardano against USDT. But if we were to switch over to Cardano against Bitcoin, we can see this new perspective come into play. We have these key fettuccine levels, price action currently interacting with support against Bitcoin. So we have two different kind of perspectives into play here, a tad more bullish in my opinion. Price action experiencing resistance and a rejection off of the 0.786 fettuccine line, 40.56 Satoshi as a significant local resistance moving forward. And we appear to be attempting to find support along the 0.618 Fibonacci Lamborghini line there at 32.75 Satoshi. So holding along this level will be more bullish in the kind of midterm here, and does suggest further support is being found. I do suspect as we interact, the 0.618 price action could reach to my kind of support line there at 30.93 Satoshi. So there is a kind of a big kind of cushiony zone that we could bottom out here. Although the 200 daily moving average is creeping up to us currently right now, sitting next to the 0.5 fettuccine line at 27.26 Satoshi. But I do believe price actions should kind of stay bullish enough to kind of pull it up towards us and further solidify support, perhaps near my support line there, just above kind of like 3K Satoshi. So what's going on for Cardano? Still volatile price actions, very high demand for Cardano at the moment. But if we consider now Bitcoin against USDT, what do we have here? Very volatile price action, a very bullish bounce off of the high 20Ks, price action reaching into 29 there, getting very bullishly bought up, getting us over 32K very quickly. We've quickly found support. It would appear that buy 4 confirmed just a few days ago on the 24th of July, giving us some very high suggestion of some short-term upside, which we have experienced since breaking upward through the 0.5 fettuccine level, which gave us a very hard time in the kind of following weeks prior, which is making price action look very bearish as we got rejected off of it and plummeted through 32K. That ever so abundant fundamental buy pressure and high demand for Bitcoin at these levels came in, and now we find ourselves back in this kind of zone that we spent the kind of last kind of few months in. Price action stretching all the way up to that 0.618 Fibonacci Lamborghini level. Very significant and potent resistance at 41,500. 40K seems to be the kind of like psychological round level, but I do believe the key level to keep in mind is 41,500. That 0.618 fettuccine line currently, if you compare yesterday's candle, the high of that candle, which is around sort of like 40,500. That is currently a lower high relative to price action on the 15th of June, whereas that candle stretched to 41,300. So at the moment, that does suggest some very short-term downside, which would make sense for a very volatile move upward like this. A retracement, a pullback, a confirmation of support does perhaps appear to be pending, and I do believe would be necessary to kind of solidify the recovery of this kind of uptrend here, if we're back in an uptrend, or with this just a fake out kind of upward to continue downwards. So technically we are still sideways. If we find price action below pretty much that 0.618 line, I still consider this, in my opinion, to be sideways, as the top of that range is going to be around 41,500 there. Once we can get above that level, confirm it as support, I do believe we have successfully perhaps initiated recovery mode, and all-time highs and then some are ahead. So price action still in a very critical state. Lots of pivotal price action moving forward. These next kind of couple weeks are going to be very crucial for Bitcoin. Buy 4 has confirmed. Buy 4 is in play. There is some some short-term technical upside and bulls present at the moment, so we can suspect some heavy buy pressure, slightly more than there was before, against the ever so abundant technical sell pressure, which has slightly weakened very recently. So we still have sell pressure underneath the underside of the 200 daily moving average. That is going to be a big kind of bearish suggestion. Lots of traders taking profit along the underside of that, but we have EngineeringRobo giving us a short-term bullish faith here, suggesting that we might be able to plow through all of this kind of overhead resistance. So what's going on for Bitcoin at the moment? Very volatile, price action ahead. Bitcoin still looking very bullish fundamentally. It was always looking very bullish, even in this very aggressive downside. I do believe this was very healthy for the uptrend in the long term. This was a very necessary and healthy, needed phase of accumulation and consolidation downward to allow these more buy-ins at these lows before we set some euphoric all-time highs. 6 figures is just around the corner. Now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with the link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Let me know in the comment section. Are you bullish? Are you bearish on price action? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish on price action? Let me know what you're doing with your bag if you have one. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.